Alright, we're backtracking a little bit. Shouldn't have to backtrack that much because a lot of them were just saying, this thing doesn't respond at all to the things you have, so we need different keystones. But this one, in particular, clearly implied that we needed more keystones, so let's try different ones on it. Bad guys! Everyone, go get the bad guys! This shouldn't be a problem, because there's a relatively small chunk of them. Everybody casts spells on their faces until they stop living. Hang on a second. Bonus damage from Frost. There, she already casted Ram Spike. She is way ahead of me then. Okay, sure. We can do a engagement attack on that guy. Oh, he broke engagement, kind of. Wait, no he didn't. I just stopped highlighting him. Boom! Bonus damage achieved. Don't think we have to be very careful here because I think this is like our last fight. I think we more or less finished the dungeon at this point because the probably the only thing left is probably to teleport to the top of the entire tower. Alright. That was the green one. Yellow one. Red one. Green one. Oh right, click on this one now. There we go.
Can't do that.
That's what our goal was. Give me your secrets, little room. Oh, it's a secret. I thought it was a trap for a second there. Alright. More money. Thank you. Oops. And a chance at another glowing rune. 27 lore. Learn the rune and incorporate into your spells. Sigil of Chaotic Descent. Curious. Expression used to create spells that affect random targets within a circular area. Hello. That's interesting. Also, it's really expensive. It costs 100 lore just to add this to something, let alone whatever you started off with. So, as a teaser of things yet to come, let's take a look at it, but we can't use it now. So, no application there. I'm sure it's only used for offensive spells. Oh, maybe only some spells in general. Just lightning, okay. Thunderstorm. Lore required 100. Ooh. Didn't really think about that, but I guess the cores don't actually affect the lore requirement, it's just the expression and the accents. Alright, so every 2 minutes you can cast a spell. Has a 2.4 second recovery, a range of 8 meters, and a radius of 6 meters. Fires 10 projectiles. 17 to a 22 shock damage. Based on control lightning and lore, as you'd expect. Conjure a violent storm cloud that rains thunderbolts upon enemies in an area. Well, that's pretty neat. Gonna need a lot more lore skill than anyone currently has, though. But at least I had a chance to get a little bit of money here, and whatever's in here. More money. Alright. We probably made like 5 bronze or something like that. Probably more, actually. On top of the eventual benefit of being able to use that cool effect. Now to continue where we left off through the side passage, let's try doing a quick camp, just because, in case there's some kind of boss fight or something, we might as well just be ready for it. Why not? Is that not? There's quick save. I mixed it up with the quick save of a different game. So many different games to keep track of. Alright, everyone's recovered.
I'm seeing a lot in this room I'd like to sketch. But we should keep moving.
Enter the Spire at the Twin Rivers. Here we go. Let's see what happens. Are we going to get confronted, or do we just get to teleport to the top and claim it as our own? Is that a puzzle? This chamber immediately reminds you of Ascension Hall. An intricate rune running along the floor can only mean one thing. You stand at the feet of a great spire. Each step you take echoes across a great distance. As you gaze upward, the sage-colored walls quickly give way to an unending blackness. The rune in the center of the floor is inactive, and the silence of the hall offers no clues as to its use or function. You feel a slight tug in your chest, a faint echo of the energy that enveloped you at Vendrian's Well. Hold on a moment. Lantry bellows the comment louder than needed, smiling as he hears his voice echo through the massive chamber. If my sense of direction is at all reasonable, we are standing below the spire of this region. What do you know of the spires? Lantry raises an eyebrow. About as much as you, I'm afraid. Until our time in Vendrian Well, I didn't realize that there were ways to access the upper reaches. Speaking of which, I'm certain that there's a way to access the top of this spire as well. Let's keep our eyes open for sigils and glyphs nearby. What do you recommend? Lantry points to the pattern on the floor. I'd start with the grooves and stones on the floor over there. If it's like the Spire at Vendrian's Well, whomever built this crafted a mystical conduit to the top. I'd think it very, very unlikely this pattern is purely decorative. Let's press on. Well, there's clearly something over here. Is that another wall rune? Interesting rune. The sunken relief, though heavily damaged, is clearly meant to depict a runic symbol similar to the one you saw in Ascension Hall. Its relief is incomplete, and thus the final form of the rune is unknown. But I can probably combine them. Charcoal rubbing. Pressing charcoal to parchment, you capture a blurry but proportionate image of the ancient relief. The newly added imprint fills the remaining gaps of the scroll, giving you a clear representation of the carved rune. I believe this has something to do with the symbol on the floor of the spire. Well then, let's do just that. That's the wrong one. Charcoal. Okay. This charcoal rubbing, painstakingly assembled from several broken fragments in the Haven Old Walls, displays an arcane symbol of unknown significance. Though it bears no resemblance to the known magical runes in use today, the pattern is so obviously important to the civilization that constructed the Old Walls. Am I just going to step on the runes that touch those lines, perhaps? So, 2 triangles and a circle. Triangle 1, triangle 2, circle. So maybe I just click on those and avoid the
copper ring for every glyph I've sketched today.
Maybe just touch those ones only. Just keep the rest of the party away so they don't mess it up. I figure I'll just touch those ones first and just don't touch the weird bat wings on the outside. So this is the bottom triangle. Top triangle. I can't click on this. I can click on that one. There we go. Presto! Let's see, let's just skip down here right off the bat. These grooves in the floor are inlaid with a dim incandescent material that glimmers upon closer inspection. They appear to intersect at various angles, forming a myriad of potential shapes similar to the rubbing you found. Okay. Let's check. Is there anything else in the room at all? Pressing tab. It's just those guys. So it's probably... I probably just press this next. What? Okay. Triangle, triangle, circle. Is it because they're not connected correctly? Oh, do I trace out the shape? This is weird. So like, how do I make the circle here get drawn? What? What? I guess I'll just keep clicking on them till they finish up. What? Clicking on them again makes them add lines sometimes. Yep. Oh, you're clicking on one, then the other to draw the line. Okay. Yeah, I was confused. Oh well. Clearly figured that out. And we're good to go. Beam time! The arcane light courses skyward, trailing off toward the horizon in the direction of Vendrian's Well. You feel the ground ripped out from beneath you yet again as you drift back into the warmth of the energy surrounding you. Your awareness stretches beyond the limits of this spire, pulling in many directions at once. The light you saw arcing through the sky reminds you of the tether you feel to the top of Vendrian's Well. This too is a point of connection, and you are an inextricable part of it, bound as surely as the spires are to each other. Can I teleport between them? The Sunset Spire in Lethian's Crossing feels burdened by its age, as if a central linchpin somewhere in its core has weathered the centuries of oppressive weight and longs to topple. The surge of energy that courses through you, forming a link with Vendrian's Well, strengthens the very stones beneath your feet. The structural weakness you detected vanishes, replaced by a confidence that could keep this tower standing for millennia. And tell me where you're writing from. The Lantry speaks out loud as he pens a missive, and how to reach it, and I will send you an iron ring for your troubles. He signs his name with a flourish, and then tosses the parchment into the wind. In the blink of an eye, the heavy currents carry the slip of parchment eastward. I had this idea of a message in a bottle without the bottle. Maybe it'll work. Oh, are we gonna start getting missives now? Because I've only had one so far, which is kind of strange because it seemed like it was established by a proper mechanic and then just kind of didn't happen. From here, even the old walls seem paltry. This sovereign view was not intended for the likes of us. Beric shakes his head slowly. Who knew that all this was up here while I sat below, wasting my time trying to gather a group of followers from the refugees in Lethian's Crossing? The untapped power of this spire is astounding. I must find out how to get some. The spire feels like a relay between you and Vendrian's Well, bridging some transference of energy on an enormous scale. You are the first link of a chain that stretches the length of the realm. As you struggle to understand the sensation, you grow aware of whispers all around you. Let's listen. The whispers themselves seem to travel down the tether between you and your spires, conducting heat that feels at times unbearable. They speak of your actions, your choices, everything that led you to this place. Your name is known, your banner recognized, your deeds reported across the tiers and the Northern Empires alike. For an instant, you can see the accumulated hope and fear of these whispers represent. It appears like dewdrops settling on a leaf, then trickling into a shared basin. This image is fed to you through your connection, a base metaphor that only hints at the true scope. There is power in these spires, though its source is unfamiliar. Were you to harness it, you suspect that nothing would stand beyond your reach. So you can use lore, again. Unlocking the spire seems to have opened some deeper connection. I don't know what you've done, but standing near you warms my rusted plates, makes me feel lighter somehow. Curious. I've noted something I also observed at the spire in the Vendrian's Well. There's a mystic hum, and it has little beats when you walk, tiny fluctuations when you talk. Unless my senses are deceiving me, you and the spires are mystically attuned to each other. Most fascinating indeed. A quill pen appears in his hand, and the old sage begins furiously jotting notes in his arm. I feel it too. The air thick up here, isn't it? Exactly the opposite of what you'd expect. The magic up here is almost a physical presence. Ah! Spire upgrades are a thing now, apparently. So this one's called... Oh, that Vendrian's Well. Sunset Spire. Interesting. Why do they cost money? That's weird, right? No, I guess they are a library and training. I'm associating them with, like, mystical powers. I'm like, woo, mystical powers on my spires. But, yeah, the actual things you're buying are just normal day-to-day goods, so it makes sense they cost money, I guess. Is that my power meter? That is my power meter, isn't it? The 640? Yep, that's the same meter. Does it max out, then, at the top, or does it, like, prestige and start over again? So you can get library, training grounds, forge, and infirmary. Library? Constructing a library on a spire allows you to research magical knowledge, edicts, and artifacts. Once built, resting in any spire grants a bonus to lore and all magical skills. Just resting in one? Can I rest there over and over again? Probably costs you, I guess it probably costs you camping. Well, why would it cost you camping gear? Training grounds. Constructing the training grounds allows you to recruit the finest skilled trainers in the tiers. Once built, resting in any spire grants a bonus to accuracy, athletics, and subterfuge. Forge. The Forge upgrade allows you to improve weapons and armor and forge powerful new items. Once built, resting in any spire grants a bonus to armor, parry, and dodge. Just me or everyone in my party? Infirmary. The Infirmary allows you to brew potions and other consumables. Once built, resting in any spire grants you a bonus to endurance, will, and magical defenses. So mixed here. Training grounds is great for my main character, because it's the skills that they specialize in, and it also would be good to get nice skill trainers around, but the library being a way of getting nice spells also sounds good. I think I'm going to start with the training ground one, though. I think I can build multiple. I don't think I can build more than one per spire, but I think I can build more than one overall. Like, as I get to the other spires, there's apparently 3 more. It kind of looks like I can build one of each, unless a new upgrade system's going to show up. Loading time. You don't have to go home, but you can't play for now. So what's going on? Wow, okay, this looks completely different. Dodge and performance and control force, everyone's getting stuff. It's just probably basic level up. That's a lot of people living on my spire all of a sudden. That feels a little odd. Is that Kills in Shadow? Tab. No, it's not. Trainer Reese. Okay. Spire unlocked. You have acquired a second spire. All spires are linked, allowing you to travel instantly between them. This will reduce your travel time through the tiers. You can upgrade spires you discover, building new structures on top of them. Each upgrade will provide you with different benefits. Click on the spire icon, or press H to select an upgrade for your new spire. Upgrades take time and money to build, and money to maintain. If you no longer have the money to maintain an upgrade, it will be suspended, and you will no longer be able to receive its benefits until you're able to pay its maintenance cost. So is that the downside to traveling then? Is that as you travel around, time passes, which causes your maintenance stuff to get accrue cost? There are 5 resources you can find in Kyros tiers that can be used to power upgrades to your spire. They are scrolls, iron ingots, bronze ingots, alchemy supplies, and hide. Each upgrade has uses different resources. So what is the maintenance cost? Every 5 days, it's $250. That's not too bad. It's definitely a chunk of money I lose for traveling around, but at least it's not like a bank breaker. So now I could hire people, but hiring them costs a big chunk of money, and I kind of already spent that money getting the upgrade, so that's kind of a bummer. Speaking of which, we can try to teleport too. Are those little dummies everywhere? Of course they are. And there's inlets in the walls. Let's talk to the guy. The man before you offers a nod at your approach. He meets your eyes hesitantly and pauses before speaking. Thank you for having me, Fatebinder. The name's Reese. I'm here because I'm good at just 2 things: killing my foes and seeing where the currents flow. I'd rather not get caught on the wrong side of history, so I'm here to humbly offer my sword. I'm well versed in many forms of combat and can help you stay versatile during a fight, should you wish it. Why do you wish to follow me now? These spires have towered over us for generations. Whoever made them was far beyond us, mere presence on the ground. They were objects of wonder and legend in Tiersman stories, and now you've claimed them. He looks directly at you, conviction in his eyes. That's reason enough for me. What can I do here? If you want to hone your fighting skills or perhaps learn some new ones, this is the place, but really, the Spire is your domain. What you do and who you invite to aid you is your choice. I'd like to train. Also, why does training people cost money if this is my domain? It seems like I'm just renting everybody anyway. Oh well. Yep, still costs you stuff. Well, we might as well. Haven't bought ranks in anything for a while, really. Is my subterfuge that low? It feels way higher than that. Is that just because of all the benefits I get from, like, equipment and stuff like that? Or this must... Maybe this is the completely unmodified rank, like, old bonuses stripped away, this is what I've gotten as raw rank, and I can't go higher than that or something? Perhaps. Anyway. So that's all he trains. Do I want those skills for anyone here? Probably you. Except you're too high on parry, we can't go any higher than that. Could go a little into dodge and athletics, and that's about it. I'll put a couple points into dodge, max that out. Now we can't train them anymore. You cannot train the skill past the trainer's level max. So we either need a better trainer. I guess we just need a better trainer, actually. Everyone else I'm less inclined to do that for, although parry and dodge are not a bad idea for our... what is kind of becoming our melee caster. Let's train up your lore. We're almost done max now, because I want him to be able to use that really cool spell. It's pretty much my entire thought process there. In fact, it's tempting to put 5 points into lore on my other characters too, actually. That might not be a bad idea. Should be able to train cooler versions of spells. But bumping up my melee skills will probably be more helpful. Can I train her performance skill? I wonder. Also, who's close to leveling up? Lantry's close to leveling up, and nobody else really? Because if somebody's close to leveling up, I might as well just train them immediately, because then they're just going to turn around and level up and unlock the ability to level up again as a result anyway. So what's this? Let's run past the spinny thing. Weapon rack. There's an iron warhammer here. That seems useful. I'll put that in the stash. No reason to leave it here as far as I can tell. And it's worth money. Bronze hammer. Let's compare. More DPS, more accuracy. Seems to be the same weapon functionally, but superior quality, so it's just better. So let's go ahead and swap that in. There you go. Get rid of this nasty Brotherhood mace. Put that away for selling later. Gotta make up our money that we use to maintain this place somehow. Let's see, didn't I already have another trainer at the other base though? Should I fire them if I have access to a new one now? A great spear. No one really uses those in the party right now. What's this? Sigil of Piercing. Ooh, Piercing Force. We can learn that one. Then let's learn it. Increases the armor penetration of a spell. Neat. Yep, there it is. Plus 30. Ooh. Expensive. But it's there. The more we pump up the lore of that character, the more he'll be able to actually use stuff like that. 10 hide. We better put that in our inventory so it automatically gets used for whatever is needed to fuel things. Ardent Bronze Sword. Can compare that. Minus 1 DPS, a little bit more recovery. Looks like no special effects otherwise. Just another superior weapon. Seems to be the relationship between... swords and hammers seems to be that the swords have more speed and less DPS. Could be... It's good for being able to fire off his skills at rapid fire, but I don't think he has that many. Yeah. So recovery time doesn't seem like it's that big of a deal breaker for his skills, because he doesn't have that many different ones to use. I think. A small settlement resides on the bank of the large river. What's that? Is that Twin Rivers down there, or is that... That can't be the city I just came from, can it? Because it's like... There's no waterfalls. Yeah, there's no waterfalls, and it should be directly below me. We're like right at the entrance to the old wall, so this is like directly over the base. Even from this height, the Portiscore River is vast and expansive. So where's is this my teleporter? I think so. Let's quick save real quick. So does this allow me to teleport directly to the other base? So there's the Mountain Spire, and there's the Sunset Spire. They're not that far apart from each other. But, should be able to travel instantly. Woo! Yep, that's what happens. So that'll save us on travel time a little bit. I can warp to the neighboring spire and cut down on the roundabout pathing that would lead to much longer trips. I still want to go back to the town I just came from, though, to look around. I just want to re-inspect here. So there's Tanera. So that should be Verse, and there's Ebb, and there's Kills and Shadow. They might have been at the other base. Apparently Tab doesn't make them glow, so maybe they were there the whole time. And so so there's the downside. If I rest, we get a stat bonus, but resting will make time pass, which will then give me... That'll incur maintenance cost when I keep resting. So it's not necessarily that cost effective. Let's see. One-handed weapons, two-handed weapons, thrown weapons. Yep, you're the one I'm looking for. Tanera. Alright. Let's, wow, 75. So this person actually has better caps than the base we just picked up. Weird. Sure. Let's go further into thrown weapons. I will bury myself in that stat. I don't give a crap. You can go further into parry, which is good for our melees. So let's take advantage of the fact that you can even do that. You already maxed you out. 1, 2, throw, parry, dodge. Huh. Can anyone train performance? Let's look. Two-handed thrown. Blah, blah. Control illusions, athletics, control vigor, upgrade armor. No? In fact, are these even different from the ones that were already here? They are different. But apparently no one can train performance. So I should come up with a different stat I want to emphasize for training with this character, because I'm not going to be able to train her performance anyway, as far as I can tell. Performance gets affected by vitality and wits, and I don't think any other stats, so I can't upgrade one of these to help it at all. Athletics, dodge, lore, parry. We could do magic staff, but we don't have a trainer for magic staff right now, so I might as well just train her in parry, since she's often going to be fighting in melee range. That makes sense to me. There we go. A little bit more parry stat. Alright. Yeah, that training I just did with Garrick actually... Is his name? No, it's Barrick. Got him pretty close to hitting level 10. So training, it actually makes a decent chunk of progress.
I got it.
Not something to be ignored if I can afford the trip. And the training, of course. Let's head on back. And I'll go visit the town below. Yeah. Instant travel down here? Oh, because it all counts as one zone. That makes sense. Alright, let's teleport down to Lethian's Crossing then. Alright, we're back here. Although, before I did this, I should have checked on a few other things, but that's fine. Oh! That's not what I was going for. I was getting ready to talk to Lantry and check my missives, but I guess we're dealing with this now. Fatebinder, it's good to see you're alive. With all the commotion coming from the inside the old walls, Eldine was beginning to worry about you. He sent me to find you, should you return to Lethian's Crossing. Without a garrison here to protect us, the noises were disconcerting to say the least. Everyone here will sleep a little better knowing that you've returned safety to us. The challenges of the old walls could never keep me from protecting Lethian's Crossing. We're grateful for your protection. He bows deeply and then runs off. Bye! Let's look at our missives. On the subject of spires. From Tunon? No. From Fatebinder Rogulus. From the faction of Tunon? Yeah, from the faction of Tunon. I'm like, why does it say Tunon way bigger than anything else? Wow. Wow, that's a lot of favor. Sorry, just, that might have been there before and I may have forgotten anyway. Alright, my dear Guy Lovebridge, the court is abuzz with the news of the Civil War. Representatives from the course and the disfavored having little shouting matches in front of Tunon. The petitioners to the court seem swept up in talks of who will crush whom, and if and when Tunon will bring down the gavel and stop the fighting. What has me more intrigued is the other story out of Endrian's Well. Tunon sends you on what I thought was going to be a one-way trip to the well, and not only do you live, you somehow claimed the mountain spire, and you broke Kairos' edict too. Such things make a little civil war seem so trivial in comparison, at least to those who can separate the message from the noise. Tell me, what was it like to break the edict, and how it, that's a typo again. I'll just fix it then. And how is it you took control of the spire? Fatebinder Rogulus. I can explain it as best I can, respond with questions of my own, or downplay the events. I don't like how these seem really vague in their wording. I would like to know exactly what I'm going to write, because I'm writing it to somebody. Let's see. Let's respond with questions of our own. Dear Rogulus, did you know, I can say don't send it, so I can change my mind. Dear Ruggles, did you know what the wording of the edict would entail? Did you advocate that I be sent on what was likely to be a one-way journey? Your question seemed to imply that my actions of entering were orchestrated when they were in fact the product of me responding to a chaotic situation. Nothing more. Dealing with two petulant, disagreeable archons occupied what precious time I might have spent undermining Kairos. How about you tell me, what you know first? You were the one who taught me the value of never being tricked into self-incrimination, and how could I possibly argue with that sort of wisdom? I love Bridge. Well, aren't we being friendly here? Let's do it. Alright, we have a pen pal now. Hopefully those show up more, because I kind of like this interface a bit. And we have... How far are we in this series now? And this is the second one that's happened so far.